cute. Okay, beautiful. So, thank you so much for everybody to come on tonight. I understand that it's hard, like it's the evenings, and you want to be doing anything else, I'm sure. But I promise I will make this nice and swift for everybody. Get in some really good demo language and practice questions in, and also just give you a feel for what it looks like to be at a demo. Run by me, of course, because I can only say for myself. But of course, we all do follow the same flip chat, so you'll get some ideas that way. My name is Dorothy Felto. I am actually from the western suburbs of Brisbane. My area does cover the entire Ipswich, Lockyer Valley scenic rim. So it's a huge, huge area. So I know we've got some people joining from other teams. So yeah, like we're all in the same branch. And it's really nice to see faces from other people's teams so that we can all collaborate together and learn. Because yeah, there's nothing better than learning together. So we might so we'll ask Cassie and Andrea if you want to either pop in the chat or come off mute, whatever you're more comfortable with. Just letting us know whose team you are from.
I'm from Tanya's team.
Anya's
Yeah.
beautiful. Just so that I can let everybody know that who came. So this isn't a replacement for your prac training. This one is really in addition. So you need to know how to stand in front of people. Kathy, yeah, I know you, Kathy. You can't get away from me. You need to know how to prep for your demos, to organize your demos, all those kind of things, and that's where you're going to get your gold from is your prac demos or your launch demos. This one is definitely an additional. It's going to give you some more insight into all of the chat. And if you haven't picked it up already, I'm pretty good at chatting. It's one thing I'm known for is I just don't stop talking. So we've got Becca from Cassans, Eden, yes, so Britt and Andrea. Whereabouts are you from, sweet? Andrea, is that Beck Jenner or is that Beck Vogelzang? We've got two. That's okay. Beck Jenner, beautiful, thank you. Um, okay, beautiful. So, a little bit about me. I have been a consultant for less than 2 years. So, in the grand scheme of things, I am fresh. But I actually became a team leader in May, and it has become one of the greatest decisions that I have ever made. So, the reason I love holding these kind of workshops with newcomers or anybody who just wants to get a leg up, because I think there's a real benefit to having this business. And I want everybody to get the same joy out of it that I do. And also not have the fear. I feel like a lot of people are worried that they don't know what to say and when to say it, and it takes the joy away from the presentation, and it shouldn't because um, it's definitely the reason why we do this job, right? Um, I'd love to say that it's all for the money, but there's a little bit of joy in there too. The money is definitely a lovely perk. So the presentation that I have to share on my computer differs slightly from the TM7 demo at the moment because they didn't update and they slightly changed the slides, but I'll let you know when those changes come. Is there anybody on tonight that doesn't have their TM7 yet? Andrea's still waiting.
Me, I'm still waiting as well.
Still waiting. Do you have demos kind of scheduled? Like, do you have a plan of what's ahead?
No.
Not yet. That's okay. So, obviously, I don't have my TM7, and I apologize for that. But I will just make sure you ask your team leader how to get the demo up because there's a little trick to it. It's actually hidden in the right-hand corner of your home screen. So make sure that they show you how to get that because I apologize, I just can't show that this evening. So I'm going to share my PowerPoint here. So we all know lots about our TM7, and if you haven't got your TM7, you're going to learn very quickly how easy and how user-friendly it is. If you've had previous models, the upgrades are fantastic. But what's really important is that you get to know your TM7 because you are the one who is going to be presenting it. If you make sure are you everyone on the Southwest Queensland Facebook page? Yep. So there was a turbo tip shared today, and it was use your Thermomix every day. And I couldn't believe how simple that was because where you are going to be able to share so much gold is by using your machine, by living it, by sharing your day-to-day use, your tips, what you found. Nothing can be more authentic than your story. So yeah, great tip. Just be using your machine. Has anybody never seen a Thermomix before? Would this be the first one for anybody? Eden, have you had a Thermomix before?
I have a TM6 at the moment.
Ah, okay, yeah. So you've really got the designer
Yeah.
code, but you've got plenty of the know-how, and I know you're going to be just fine. So our TM7 is, oh, she's beautiful. I've actually just sold my, what is that saying? Can everybody see the presentation or is it gone away? Should just be a TM7 with like half a white screen.
It's there, Dorothy.
It is? Okay.
Yes, yes,
It's
it's there.
it's not letting me click.
Do you want me to turn my 7 on?
Are you close to it? Maybe that could be helpful.
Yep, I can do that.
Okay, thank you. Just trying to
I'll just take my PC.
Thanks for that. Okay, so I'm just going to spotlight Sue for us for a second. So when you turn your TM7 on, it does its little setup, it gives you your logo, and it brings you up your home screen. So while that's doing that, I've got to figure out why this won't let me stop sharing this window. Okay. So you'll have to turn your blur filter off, my friend,
Your blur off? Okay, just a second.
because it can't find your face.
My blur off. Let me find it. Um,
So if you hover over your face, there should be a box with three dots.
oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, and then there's fourth
Uh,
it says blur
no,
my
it
background.
stops recent. No, whatever. Where am I?
Adjust background and effects.
Yeah, generally. Oh, there it is, the video, I think. Adjust background effects. None. Okay, that's better. Okay, let's have a look now. Get rid of this.
Thank you.
Right. Well, I'll turn this right down onto my 7. There. Now, can you see that all right?
Yes, perfect. So when you're
Okay.
looking at your TM7, you've got your all your icons down the left-hand side. These are all your navigation buttons, and then everything else on there is going to be set depending on your preferences. So when you first get your TM7, it asks you how you'd like to set her up. There is the organized one, there is the inspired one, and there is the hands-on tools, something along that line. So that front will look different for whichever one you choose. So to get our demo screen up, all we do is we place our finger down across the very bottom corner and we just hold it. And you hold it and hold it and hold it. And then you keep on holding it. And eventually
It will come up.
it will. It's like the longest 10 seconds. There you
There
go.
you go.
So you can see a whole new icon has just appeared, and that icon will actually stay there throughout the entirety of the demonstration until your machine turns off. Once your machine turns off, it'll actually disappear when you reboot your machine, and then, of course, you would bring it back up. So at any time during the presentation, you can actually leave and go to those navigation buttons, show somebody something that's come up in conversation, show them a mode, show them searching, show them cookie do. show them meal planning, whatever you're going to do during your spiel time, which we'll get to, I promise. Um, you can then click back on and then it puts you back exactly where you were in that presentation. Thanks for that, Sue. So let's see if this will now let me do it. Can I share? Let me click continue. No. Play. Okay. No, where's that noise coming from? That's not my computer. Turn volume up. Sorry, everyone. Where is that? That's the July team meeting. That's why it's not working. Stop sharing Keynote. Okay, so our very first screen, as we turn on our machine, is going to look like Sue's at the moment, and it says, "Welcome to your TM7 demo." So you can actually see there are some arrows on that right-hand side now. So if you don't like the feel of the scroll up, you can actually press those arrows. If your machine arrives and they're not there, you can. It just needs an update. It's just with the newest update, so it will prompt you eventually. You're fine, so if you wanted to sit back down, I'll just do it from the screen now.
Okay. All right. Lovely.
Standing. So our first screen is really, it's just that, it's a welcome. And you'll see that with this presentation, all of your prompts are on the screen. If you've been a consultant in the past, you'll know that we used to have a flip chart, and it was a paper flip chart that we actually held. It was like one of those like a flip over like stand up flip charts. And a lot of people would hide behind it because we don't need to. A lot of people would hide behind it because the presentation felt scary. And I think a great thing about the new flip chart being on the screen is that it actually takes the presentation away from you as the presenter. And it means that everyone's actually eyes on the screen. So you don't have to feel self-conscious, you don't have to feel exposed. You're all looking at the same device. You're all there together, looking at the screen. So with welcome, when we're welcoming people, we're thanking our host. So let's just say Sue was our host today. In my presentation, I'd say I just want to give a big thank you to Sue for opening up her home to me today. It's so lovely that you were able to invite your friends over and we were able to experience the Thermomix together. I'd like to go around and just ask you, apart from peer pressure, what brought you here today? So for me, it's probably a coping mechanism, but I like to be a little funny. Like I like to break ice. I like to give people something to giggle about because then it's the ice is broken for them, the ice is broken for me, and we know that we can just be silly with each other and that we can enjoy each other's company. Nobody's on show. So asking each individual person. So if you are looking at your crowd, I'll always recommend that you stand beside your Thermomix. So if your Thermomix is on the bench facing the crowd, you've got your chairs sat up. You're going to learn all of that in your practical sessions when you're learning to demo. Have it all set up and then just stand off to the side to it so that you are looking at your audience are looking at the machine, and you're also able to make eye contact when you're asking people questions. If you're hiding behind your Thermomix, you've got that awkward leaning over, having to type backwards, and it just makes it feel a little clunky, a lot less personable. And that's what we want to come across. We want to come across as people. Yes, we are in sales, but are we salesy? Hopefully not, because we are here to make genuine connections with people and hopefully change their lives with our product. So what brought you here today? It can be as simple as, oh, well, she made me come. I'm just a bum on a seat. And I will tell you now that you know what? They are diamonds in the rough. There's no such thing as a wasted bum on a seat because that person may have no idea what they're about to see. You may be able to knock their socks off completely. And so keep that in mind. Don't take that as oh, they'll never want to buy. They're not here to buy. They're not sure why they're here. And you're going to give all them the answers for that. So going around, maybe even starting with the host, giving them your thank you, and then working around. Most demos are going to have 3, 4 people, including your host. Some probably I wouldn't recommend going more than 6. For your first couple of demos, stick to the host and 2, so 3 in total. It's a really easy crowd to navigate, and you don't have too much chit chat, and you don't have people breaking off into their own conversations, and you don't like lose their concentration a bit. So yeah, again, talk to your team leader when you're doing your prac training, and they're going to give you all of this hands-on tips as well. So, are you ready to see the magic of Thermomix? It is up to you whether you want to do your QR check-in at this point. It is a really nice thing to do, I guess, when you first meet people, or if you wanted to, you could leave it down towards the end, making sure that everybody is here. Maybe people are running late. Whatever you decide to do, there is a QR check-in when you make an event in the hub. There is a QR that is already generated. You can print it out. You can screenshot it, pop it on your phone, and have it ready to present to the people, and they can just use their phone to log in. It takes all their details, puts them into the hub. It also makes them join the MyMix rewards if they opt to join, gives them a $15 welcome voucher. So if nothing else, that person who came as just a bum on a seat has walked away with a $15 voucher for supporting their friend, and maybe a seed has been planted for the future, and Thermomix may be on the cards for them. Just remember though, everybody's got their own timeline. We love the Thermomix. We're passionate about it. It's our entire life now. But this might be the first time that anyone's ever seen it. So be gentle. We don't want to be pushy, but just know that there's no such thing as a wasted bum on a seat. So from our family to yours, this is actually a playable video. So when you have your TM7 open, you can press play this the whole way through. It's going to show you previous models of Thermomix. It's going to show them that we have a 140-year legacy. And I think that's really important for most people. They want to know that we're reliable. They want to know that we've been around for a while. We're not just some Chinese company that's popped up out of nowhere. We're not a brand new tech company. We care about food, we care about family, and we've got a lot behind us, including a service center, the mix shop, the Cobalt vacuums. There's a lot that we have, and what, 3,500 consultants over Australia and New Zealand. Like that's an incredible number. And of course, you don't have to remember all of that because the video is going to show you those things. So let that play through. It does have talking, so if you have a very echoey kitchen, it can be a little bit tough to hear it. But if people look like they want to, or they're having a hard time hearing it, ask them to get up. Ask them to stand up, come closer to the machine, and actually watch that video. Point out that was the first Thermomix. It was orange, and it basically moved so fast that it got hot and made soup. So we've come a really, really long way. And it also, there are some seeds for recruitment in there talking about the amazing community of consultants that we have. So using your videos to your advantage, they hold so much information that you don't have to hold because the Thermomix is going to give that to you. So if nothing else you get from tonight, this page is where you're going to spend the most time. This is where you're going to get to know everybody. This is where you're going to find the reason why each and every person in front of you needs a Thermomix, whether they are young parents, whether they are single, whether they are pensioners. Everyone has a why, and all you have to do is ask the right questions. So there are a couple ways that we can do this. I would prefer if somebody was happy to speak with me and give a live a live interaction with it. I'm just gonna take, there we go, put me back on Spotlight. Spotlight for everybody. Is anybody feeling brave? Would anybody like to be my actress?
Look, I don't know anything about this machine. I
Nothing at
know
all?
absolutely nothing about this machine, and it is just so expensive.
So
How can I justify buying one of these?
yeah, and absolutely. So I hear you there. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to have a play with the machine, going to get you to do one of our dishes tonight, and hopefully then we can see our value. So for you, Sue, what would you say is a priority in your home when you're cooking dinner?
Oh, because I live by myself, I do like cooking, and I do try lots of different dishes.
Mm.
And even though I live by myself, I sometimes cook more than what I need, and I freeze in containers in the freezer. Um, so I don't have to cook every single night. I might do a bit of a cook up on the weekend or something and do about two or three dishes, and I know I've got enough food for the week.
Yeah. And so what about batch cooking, is really like the most important part for you?
It
What?
is because I find that if I can buy something on a sale or a special in the supermarket, I'll buy that item, most likely meat, because meat, either beef or lamb, is so expensive. So if I can get something on a special, I'll buy it and come home and cook something with it. Yes.
Yeah, and so at the moment, how are you finding your inspiration for those bigger meals? Where is that coming from?
Oh, gets a bit boring sometimes. I reckon it gets a bit boring, and I sort of stick to the same old, like a beef casserole or a lamb Rogan Josh or something. Just try and yeah, I stick to the same things.
Yeah, and so I'm hearing that you're definitely looking for a little bit more inspiration, and also we've got a bit of a money conscious side to you. Would you say that's correct?
Oh yes, definitely. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, and
perfect.
I am looking for inspiration. Definitely. Yep.
Yeah, and so when we're thinking about that money saving, what currently do you do apart from like searching for specials? Is there anything else that you actively do to try to save money on your groceries?
I always buy fresh vegetables and things when I can. If not, I will buy frozen because sometimes when something's a little bit out of like in winter when you can buy your broccoli and your cauliflowers and things in other parts of the year, I'll go and buy frozens because you've got those things all through the year rather than just buying fresh all the time because you wouldn't buy cauliflower out of season because it's
Yeah, 'cause
just too
it's
expensive.
expensive. Yeah, no, I can definitely relate to that. So I think what's really important that you've mentioned is that you're looking for that inspiration, but also good ways to save money. So when I get you to do the bread rolls today, I'm actually going to show you how we can save you money on your groceries because you won't be paying that bakery anymore. But we're also going to show you how quick and easy it is to have some really nice food and potentially make a bigger batch for you at home, so that you can have them in the freezer, for during the week. How does that sound?
That sounds good. I'll be interested to see that. Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
beautiful. No worries at all. So, scenario here. So, thank you so much, Sue. I appreciate it.
that's okay.
Um, so what did anybody notice what was the first thing that Sue mentioned? You're more than happy to jump off right in the chat, whatever you need. There's not too many people on, so you can just talk.
It was expensive.
Yeah. And how do you think my response to that was? Did anybody get a little like oh, she mentioned the money?
No, I thought you handled it very well. You said you didn't challenge her or you didn't disagree with her. You basically just said that you would just show her the value in it
Mm.
during the demo.
Yeah. And then you were trying to pinpoint what that might be for her as well.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
one of the big things, obviously, she said at the beginning, it's so expensive, I don't know how I can justify that. And then when we actually dug a little bit deeper into what was a priority when it came to food, one of those things were money. So it kind of tees up. It makes sense why the first thing that she mentioned was, well, it's so expensive. And it's because saving money is a big priority in her life. So we're going to have to show for that individual customer how
We
we
can
are going
save
to
money.
help them with money because we can. So the savings calculator, if nobody has, I will put the link in the chat box. So the savings calculator is actually a Thermomix link. And you can make a QR code for this. This is what I do. I have a QR code for it. I put it in my my folders. I actually print it and laminate it. And it basically shows them how much they would save by not buying store-bought, making it with their Thermomix. So when you have somebody who's straight up said, oh, it's too expensive, they're the people that are going to want to find value in money. But did we also notice something else that Sue mentioned? So when we're thinking about who we're talking to, we're thinking about our T, H, E, and M. So we have our time, our health, our excellence, and our money. What was another one? There was actually two more. Any takers?
What did I say? I'm just trying to think.
I think health would be part of it because she was talking about buying fruit and veggies and meat and everything in season.
Yeah.
And using, yeah.
Yeah. So also time. So definitely health. Health definitely wasn't her her main point, but the fact that we were talking about fresh, the priority was fresh food, shows me that she wants real ingredients. She's not talking about takeout. We're not talking about like pre-made meals or meal kits or all those kind of things because they do come up. But for her, it was fresh. Big one was inspiration. So for me, that comes under like excellence, or energy or whatever the E stands for. Whoever's teaching you, they change it every time. So think E, energy, excellence. When we're thinking about cookie dough, tick, done. It's a really great one. So when we do get to like the reason I gave bread rolls to Sue was because it is so easy to portion control that one. And she mentioned batch cooking. What would batch cooking fall under in our THEM?
Time and money.
Oh,
Would it be both?
money,
Yeah.
time and money, yeah.
Absolutely. I could have dug a little bit deeper when we were talking about batch cooking, in terms of like how, well, she did say how often, but also, yeah, like the types of meal. We could have got some, I know you did give a couple of examples, could have really noted them down. And when you get to your cookie do segment, say, oh, remember when you were talking about looking for more inspiration or batch cooking? The Winter magazine is all about batch cooking. You can find it in the mix shop. Or this is how we scale our recipes. You can scale up or you can scale down. So this is going to be great for you because if you want to make a nice little dessert, we could pop it down to a 2 and you could have leftovers. But if you wanted to batch cook for the whole week, we could pop it up to an 8 and you'd be able to have 8 serves of food cooked in the same time. How does that sound? Yeah. So always linking your priority questions to where you're going to give them the value because the Thermomix gives value. So I would love for somebody has anybody never been to a demo? Obviously you're here, so hopefully you've at least seen a Thermomix in real life once. Nothing? That's okay. I'm going to ask one more person if they will be a dummy for me. And you can either use your own, or you can think of the hardest scenario you've ever come across, because trust me, I've come across some crackers. Who would like to chat?
Come on, don't be shy.
I can if nobody else will, but I did it last time, so I'm happy to give somebody else a go.
Yeah.
I did that the last Zoom last week.
Becca, do you fancy it?
I was just trying to, I don't know a hard, I was just trying to think of a hard scenario. I guess maybe so. Yeah. Okay. I've got maybe an idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Becca, we're up to you. So what is a priority when it comes to feeding your family?
We have multiple health thing. So we have both gluten and lactose people in our family. So that's a big thing. And I make all of my things from scratch. And I have already like a large recipe already, like a recipe repertoire already.
And where do you source those recipes from?
Either ones I've just kind of found or kind of have made up.
Beautiful.
So yeah, so I already have a large repertoire already, and I have already invested in like the things that make it work for our family.
Yeah, so you've got appliances that you use regularly?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what are they? I'd love to know.
So I do, yeah. So typically I'd use a lot of oven cooking because it does like large batches. But yeah, like our big blender gets, because we've got also a large family. So we have a big blender, and we have a large Ninja air fryer, and I don't know. I'm just trying to think of
No,
things that maybe the Thermomix doesn't always do. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and I think one of the things that we have to remember is that the Thermomix is never going to replace your oven, or not yet. We never know what's going to come around the corner. But yeah, absolutely. I love using my oven. And I personally don't have allergies in my house. So I would love to know from you, actually. Like, it would be great if you could teach me. What are some great alternatives? Like, how are you maneuvering the gluten and dairy free in your house?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely had to adjust. You can't get the greatest bread with gluten. Gluten-free doesn't last all that long. So I'm having to do that quite regularly. That's something I've had to adjust to. So I don't know enough about, I don't have allergies at the moment, but I know that's someone that I've been trying to court in that they have, gluten, and I don't know enough about it to be able to talk to if anyone else does.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So one thing I can say is, like, our family definitely not gluten free. But I actually have a colleague who her whole family can't have gluten. So it'll be really interesting if you ever need help in the future. I'll actually be able to refer you to somebody who is an expert when it comes to that gluten-free life. And definitely, I think when we do the milling today, I'm sure you use a lot of rice flour in the kitchen. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
And are you currently making your own rice
Not yet.
flour? Not yet. No, not yet. Excellent. So I'm actually going to show you how you can make rice flour in less than a minute, using just your long grain rice. And that's going to save you a fortune because if anybody doesn't know, the rice flour is actually 7 times more expensive per kilo. And for gluten-free eaters, they use rice flour in basically everything. So making our own gluten-free flour, super simple. I can actually show you in Cookie Doo. There are recipes ready to go so that you're not having to pay that $14 a loaf. You could actually be making some bread for your family. Today we are eating gluten bread, so I apologize, Becca, for that. But you're definitely going to see the ways that we could adapt these recipes, or find similar recipes that are going to suit the needs. And we also have our platform, and it's going to be super easy to swap in and out the ingredients that we can and can't have. So I'm excited to show you that. So today I'll probably get Becca to do our Fruity Dream. It is a dairy-free, gluten-free dessert, so definitely something you'd be able to whip up. And we're going to see the milling of the sugar in there as well, so you'll see just how powerful the Thermomix is going to be in compared to your other appliances that you've already mentioned tonight. Is that all right?
That's great. Thank you.
So when we're thinking, thanks for that, Becca. When we're thinking about what Becca's mentioned, she's talking about health, she's talking about her family. Clearly, the way that we are approaching Becca is from a place of compassion, because her biggest thing is that she's helping her family and their intolerances. And she's already doing so much work. So we can actually save her time because we're not going to have to be making everything from scratch. Or without the help of the Thermomix, of course. We're going to be saving health because we've got those allergies. It's a priority for her that the food, she knows what's in it, and we know what we can and can't have. In terms of excellence, it's going to be a life changer for them to be able to be serving real food that hasn't been sat on a shelf for a couple of weeks. because we all know the gluten-free aisle. Dry. It's so dry. And then saving money as well. Gluten-free bread is just one example. Most things contain packers and fillers and things that are often gluten. So it means that you can only buy specialty gluten-free stuff, whereas Thermomix is going to open up that world. So can everybody see just kind of by constantly asking for that little bit more information, we went from I'm gluten and dairy free, I already do everything, I already have all the appliances, to oh well actually I've got more for you. Like I've got more to give. Like there's going to be some value for you. So that's what our open-ended questions are going to give for everybody. So the difference between an open-ended question and a closed question. So I might get Gwen to just jump off mute for a second. So an open-ended question is, how's your day been, Gwen?
It's been great.
Yeah, beautiful. And like what have you been up to? You've been with the family?
No. We're empty nesters. My husband went to work and I did a bit of housework, made a sourdough, and then went shopping.
Oh, how exciting. How long have you been doing sourdough for?
8 months.
Oh, that's great. And what made you
Hmm.
start doing that?
I retired and
Yeah.
needed something to do.
So I asked 4 questions, and in those 4 questions, I know that they're empty nesters. I know that we've got a husband at home. Um, yeah, like it just shows. Whereas I could have said, so have you had a good day?
Yes.
Yes. Done. That's it. Oh, okay. So have you ever seen a Thermomix before?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
You own one?
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
I own two.
2.
Three now, actually.
So a closed question is where we're getting those yes and no's from, and they are what we want to stay away from because they don't dig deeper, they don't give us any more information than a yes and a no. Okay, let's go back to this. What time are we? I am conscious of time. So, like I said, that is the area we're going to spend the most time on during our presentation. You're going to go through every single person, really getting to know them, because it's important that you get to know them, for the sake of the potential sale, but also for the sake of connection and authenticity, making people feel comfortable, and getting to know people is actually quite fun. I am definitely not introverted, so I won't speak on behalf of anybody else. But for me, it's very fun to learn about people's lives, and to talk. So our next slide is what's included. So with this slide, I like to say, as you can see, everything that I've brought with me today is on the screen. I normally actually have my machine set up Russian doll. So I'll have the blades, and the simmering basket with the lid in. So like they would have here if you just pushed everything down, and then have the accessories inside the Varoma so that it looks really compact. So the Varoma is on top. Some people prefer to have it all laid out. For me, my personal preference is that I like to show how little space it's going to take up because that's a priority for me. And I feel that that's a big value of the Thermomix compared to other appliances, multiple appliances, all of that. But you'll find out what works for you too. If you would prefer to show the value and the vast amount of things that you're going to get, then that works as well. When we're announcing our price, try not to say $2,649, because it sounds like a lot of money. It is a lot of money. But when we say 2,649, it's a little bit more digestible. It's also, I feel anyway, it's a little bit easier off the tongue, and it doesn't sound like quite a big money. So also saying 2,649, but we do have flexible payment options, and I will actually get back to that when I show you the slide later on in the presentation. So if you have any questions about how to pay your machine off, we'll get to that. But the best way to do it is that you can actually earn one for free. If you are an earner, tell people. Tell people that you are here earning your Thermomix for free, and every sale that you make is actually getting your machine for free. It's part of your story. It's part of your journey. So have a closer look. Again, this one is actually a video. And when the video plays, it actually lays out. Is that moving? Is that moving at all? There you go. So I actually like to pause it in the middle of this movie. It's a very short clip. I shouldn't call it a movie. Pause it in the middle and get people up. Get them looking at the screen. Ask them, what do you already have? Is there anything on there that's always been on your wish list? If you do have something on there, when was the last time you got it out? I did a demo on Saturday and the woman was like, yep, I have a blender. Yep, I have the food processor. I don't even know what that blue thing is. Oh, it's an egg boiler. Oh, yeah, well, I use a pan for that. The fermenter, there was all these things. And she was like, yeah, I already have all of them. And I was like, oh, that's so good. Like, how often do you use them? She's like, oh, quite often. She was a bit standoffish. And I was like, oh, did they clean themselves? And she looked at me like, what? What? And I was like, gotcha. But of course, we don't say gotcha in front of them because some people might not take that very well. So get them up, get them interactive, get them thinking about what's in their kitchens, and then, oh, or not, pressing play and showing the world. Remembering how powerful it is to tell somebody that they could free up 2, 3, 4 cupboards in their home, or never have to spend that money on something they use once. Again, when you've been talking to people, have they talked about traveling? Have they talked about caravanning? Have they talked about like, oh, I have a tiny kitchen, it would never fit. I've heard that one before. Have they said, oh, well, I can't afford a Thermomix because I'm renovating? I'm like, renovating your kitchen? What are you cooking on? Like, what's your alternative while your kitchens are being renoed? There are so many reasons why somebody will say a half no, and it's just because they just don't know. So for our demo, we do three dishes if you have a full house. If you are just doing a one-on-one with somebody, so say it's a delivery demo or their guest didn't turn up, if their guest didn't turn up, that's a bit bad. But if somebody says, I don't want to invite anybody, it's just going to be me, then say, that's completely fine. We're just probably going to do 1 or 2 dishes because once you've done one, you're probably not going to want to do like 3 whole dishes by yourself. It's also saving you time and it's saving you money by bringing those ingredients as well. So making sure you're asking your team leaders about what you're taking to your pracs. Sorry, what you're taking to your demos, who provides what. Rule of thumb, if it needs to be in the fridge, it's a perishable, then the host provides it. If it is a pantry staple and it doesn't need to be refrigerated, then you should bring it. There are a couple exceptions. It's what you feel comfortable for doing. Talk to your team leader. I'm not going to tell you to do one way or the other. They will have a thing. There is a PDF for it as well, so ask them for the PDF guide that says for the Fruity Dream, host brings, or the consultant brings. So Fruity Dream, has anybody not made Fruity Dream? You're gonna want to do it. It's really good. I always recommend my host provide mango and berry. The mango has a beautiful texture that actually breaks up the pulp in the berries. It makes it super light, super fluffy, and it actually helps break up kind of that fibrous berry sometimes that we get when people do mixed berry. It is your demo. You get to tell people what you need them to do for you. So do not be scared to give clear instructions. If you're doing the chicken, tell them, I need the chicken diced before I arrive. With the cauliflower, can you please prep the cauliflower into florets before I arrive? Making sure you're there 10, 15 minutes beforehand because they probably still haven't done it, even if you said it. So getting that all prepped because you don't want to be prepping ingredients as you're cooking meals. You want to have it there, ready to chuck in, looking super, super efficient. and everyone's just going to be wowed about how they just made ice cream in 5 minutes. So once we've done our questioning, we've kind of got an idea of who would be a really good candidate to do what dish. If you haven't got that information or you're not confident in dishing it out, or dishing it out, in providing everybody with that dish per person, say, who would love to make 5-minute ice cream with me? If nobody says, then say, okay, well, we'll start from this side where we started our questions. I'll get you up first, and then you can do the bread rolls, and then you can do the curry. For Fruity Dream, I personally don't do manual mode. In your stationery kits, you would have got cards that go through the instructions on Fruity Dream. You can get them up using manual mode, following those instructions. I personally do not. I think it is hard, and I don't think it is the best showcase of a Thermomix. So at this point, I actually click on the you can't see my pointer. I click on the search, and I get that person who I've said to do Fruity Dream to actually come up and type Fruity Dream into Cookie Doo. For people who have had previous models, just touching the screen might be enough to tell, like, to show them, okay, this is different, and take them off of that defensive, I already have a Thermomix kind of bandwagon. So get them to type it in, follow it through, make sure people are eating. We want this dish to be as quick as we can. We want to show them what time really looks like, time saving. For the time savers in the room, this is going to be a big thing. I like to let people know, like, this is a 5-minute dessert. It does say 10 minutes on the thing, but without chat, it's not 10 minutes. If you had unexpected visitors this summer, or the kids have got their whole sport team there, you could do an 8 serve of this, and I think it actually goes up to 16. I don't even know anymore. And serve it all out. So really great one to do. In your stationery packs as well, there was a booklet called demo booklet. I don't have it with me. But there was a booklet that came with it, and it actually has each dish inside there and all the wow factors. So if you're not convinced that Fruity Dream is the best dessert ever, then in that booklet, it's actually got all of those breakdowns for you on why it's important, why it's impressive. So make sure you're looking for that. It's just like, does anybody have it? Has anybody not got one? I've got so many, I could probably post you one. Anywho, it should have come in your stationery pack. Let's keep going. So once you finish your Fruity Dream, this page is actually going to tell you everything you just did in the last 10 minutes. So milling, blending, whipping, asking them, what would you use those modes for? Each of our demo dishes have given us 3 techniques within each of them, and that's why they're picked for the demo, because they are showcasing 9 different modes over 2 hours. And that's way more impressive than putting out 6 different dishes that all mix and fry, or whatever you wanted to do, saute. So milling, blending, whipping. For our gluten-free people, milling is super important because you can make your own flours. Blending, is there anybody who's really into acai bowls, or smoothies, or are they on a health kick where they want to make their own fresh juices? You don't have to take the pulp out with Thermomix. You can actually put your fresh fruit and veg in, ice and water, and that ice is actually going to break up the fibers for you. Is there anybody who didn't know that? Did you know you can make your own fresh apple and orange juice with your Thermomix? There is a recipe in Cookie Doo. Follow it. You'll love it. Who will you impress? This line is actually a seed for the people in front of you, who they are thinking of in this moment. And you can say it at the beginning, you can say it at the end, you can say it throughout the demonstration, but keep planting that seed. Who are you going to invite to your demo? Because they need to have another demo. They need to see our other mains. They need to try something else. They need to see it in their kitchen. I actually have a post-it note on the inside of my folder. They used to call them host-it notes. And you'd give a little preamble at the beginning saying, as I go through the presentation today, if there's anybody that comes to mind, who you think this would be really helpful for, write their name down on that pink post-it note for me. The slogan for the host-it note was, if you've got 2 names on that list, you've got yourself a demo. If you've got 3 names on that list, you've got yourself a business. So if somebody does that post-it note and they've got 6, 7 names on it, You're going to say, you know what? You're going to make a fantastic consultant because you've already got such an incredible inner circle. Like, imagine the people who you could reach with the people who you think this would suit with. So, always looking, are they a sale? Are they a recruit? Because recruiting is just as important, and I promise you it will get easier as you work your way through. So we have two different doughs. We have the bread rolls and the pizza bianca, but the slide isn't here. So letting them know today our host has picked the bread rolls, and I'm actually going to get Sue to do that one. But next time at your demo, if you want to see the garlic pizza bianca, then we will do that because we have the option to show you some new techniques. Again, planting that seed. The next time you have your demo, this is what we're going to make. Again, the three things that those dishes have shown us, they've shown us weighing, they've shown us mixing, and they've shown us kneading. Has anybody ever made bread before? How does that compare, what you've just seen, to you slaving away over 30 minutes of kneading brioche? Or, Gwyn, you mentioned that you love sourdough. Have you ever thought about maybe making or starting your sourdough journey using a Thermomix? Blah, blah, blah. Bring it in, what we've talked about, what we're seeing, and just linking it all together. The three demo dishes are risotto, marry me chicken pasta, and the curry. Again, at your demo, if you would prefer to see, if you'd prefer to see the quick and easy risotto, then that's going to be a great one. Write it down on the bottom of your feedback sheet, and that way we know what we're going to make at your demo. Marry Me Chicken, great for kids, all in one pot. If you hate doing washing up, this is the one for you. Chuck it all in, walk away. Who's in front of you? Who's given you that kind of feedback that this is what they want? Get them to write it down on their feedback sheet. This is the one that we're going to do when we rebook your demo. But today we are going to be doing the layered cooking because I asked you to bring that chicken and that cauliflower and everything is prepped. So let's cook our main. So when you are cooking your main, in every dish, there is a sauteing stage. So for the risotto, it is the onion. For the marry me chicken, it is the capsicum, maybe. And for the curry, it is the onions again. When the onions are sauteing, that is when you start shaping your bread. So if you forget everything that I've said tonight, just keep that in mind. If you do it this way, then your main will finish at a similar time to your bread, and that way you can serve them together. So when the onions are cooking, we're shaping bread. Okay, it's been proving the whole time that we've been chatting about when we finished the bread section, and now we're talking about demos. It's been proving this whole time. So making sure that you're keeping an eye on it, and that if you are doing the pizza, that you've got the oven preheating. But if you are doing the bread rolls, it's actually a cold oven. It's got a second proof. So ask your team leader, make a note now. What does she mean, cold proof? And they'll explain that one to you. So when we have the long cooks inside the mains, so for the curry, there's I think it's an 8-minute, an 11-minute, and a 7-minute. My brain's not working too well, I apologize. But when we have those longer cooks, they are your opportunity to come back to your presentation. The way we're going to do that is you're going to be cooking on your screen, and all you're going to do is you're going to press the home button or the out arrow and then back down to that sparkly little play button, and it's going to bring back up the presentation. Okay. The whole time it's cooking in the background, it's still going to give you the beautiful ring when it is finished. But we need to get through the chat so that we can eventually eat. Otherwise, we kind of stand around, not sure what we're going to do, and everybody's getting a little like, ugh, when's this lady going to stop talking? So the cooking center. So if anybody has an iPhone, I think actually Androids do it now. If you pull down the top of your screen, it brings up, or the top right-hand side of your screen, it brings up tools. Our Thermomix is the same. So when we drag down that black bar that's currently under that timer, when we pull that down, It will actually give us our scales. It will give us pre-clean, and it will give us, what's the other one? Timer. You thought I was testing you. I was testing myself. It'll bring you those three tools down. If you have a Thermomix sensor, it will also have a spacer in there as well. And this is where we're going to be able to quickly get the tools we need, whether that's pre-cleaning in between a step, whether that's putting the timer on for the oven, setting up your Thermomix sensor, or weighing something outside of a recipe. So letting people know that we explore the cooking center and enjoy the freedom to multitask. Very often I hear people say, I'm just a meat and three veg kind of family. And I'm like, okay, how do you cook your meat? And they're like, oh, well, we barbecue. I'm like, oh, excellent. When you do like big roasts and things, like like, do you do big roasts or do you just do steaks? And they're asking those open questions, figuring out what they're eating. Are they doing whole chickens? Are they cooking a crazy amount of food in a barbecue and it's all finishing at different times? And I know for Christmas for me, if you guys don't have the Thermomix sensor, I would highly recommend looking at it because for this reason, it is incredible. Every time you open an oven, it loses its heat. Naturally, you've opened the oven, the heat comes out. So that timer that you put on for that 40-minute roast, it's changed because you've changed the temperature. The Thermomix sensor actually measures the internal temperature of that food. So no matter what happens on the external, the thermometer is actually reading where it needs to go, and it's going to give you a time based on when it's actually there. So there's no guesswork. I'm British, and we eat turkey at Christmas. You don't want to get turkey wrong because it's either dry or it's giving you food poisoning. So for me, the Thermomix sensor saves literally our lives because I can't cook. And we do hams and things like that as well. So who's in front of you? What have they told you about their lives and the way that they cook? If you have bakers, how do you know when the bottom is hollow? I don't know. I have no idea what the tapping on the bottom of a loaf means. Like, it's so subjective. Thermomix sensor is going to tell you when the inside of that bread is ready. So, tools. Yes, it is another product, but just mention it. Just mention that it exists. How much longer will the bread need? Let's check. And that's what the Thermomix sensor is going to give us. So, another little area to chit-chatty away. So, I like to do cookie dough before I show the screen. For anybody who's done demos, please tell me how you like to do it. I like to show people what it's all about before I tell them that it costs money. Other people like to say, hey, this costs money, but now I'm going to give you all your value. Again, it's a personal preference on what you like to do. So you will come across people who will say, oh, what? I have to invest in the machine and then I have to pay you every year. And you're like, yeah, you do. Because what Cookie Dough gives isn't the Thermomix, it's the recipes for Thermomix. So if you've got customers in front of you who have previous models, TM31ers, TM5ers, who have never used Cookie Dough, you're probably going to find some resistance with them there because they're going to be like, wait a minute, like you're asking me to pay for two things? And my rebuttal to those is really the Thermomix works perfectly without Cookie Dough. It is completely up to you if you don't want to carry on with it. You will get a 30-day free trial if you want to try it, see if there's stuff in there that you love. And if you do, well, when you purchase a machine, because we don't use ifs, we make assumptions. We like to say when it's in your home, when you hold your demo, when I meet with you next, plants that seed of it's a possibility. It's not pushy. But you do get 3 months bonus with your Thermomix. So when you buy a Thermomix, it comes with 3 months Cookie Dough subscription. You can actually compound those and you can have 4 months for free. Most people are like, for free? Oh, how exciting. And I personally offer a lot of Cookie Dough support because I think it's a really valuable tool that is completely underutilized by a lot of people. And if you've ever met anyone that say, I don't like Cookie Doo, I can't find anything, it's rubbish. So, you know what? You're probably not using it to its full potential. And the way we show our full potential is what we then show them on the TM7 screen or on an iPad or your phone or however you're showcasing Cookie Doo at your demo. The last couple demos I've done, I've actually used the TM7 screen only. I haven't taken my iPad, I haven't bothered whipping my phone out. Again, it really depends who's in front of you. If you have somebody who wants to meal plan and who the shopping list would blow their socks off, you're going to want another device to show them that exchange. So, again, ask your team leader in your prac training, ask them what they do, let them show you what they do. During your Cookie Doo section, the biggest tip I was ever given was pick 3 features of it that you love. Just 3. You don't want to show them how to use it cover to cover. We want to show them, for me, it's how to use reverse searching. So looking at the filters. So putting in chicken thigh into the ingredients bar and seeing how that brings it down to 76 dinners. Because that's impressive for somebody who's just looked at 12,500 English recipes. They're going to say, oh, wow, okay, yeah, if I've got chicken in the fridge that needs using, that's a tool that's going to save me money. That's a tool that's going to save me waste. I also like to show the time filter because there's nobody I've met that says they have so much time on their hands. Everybody's short of time in one way or another. So doing the prep time, so knowing that prep time is how much time the Thermomix needs you to touch it, and total time is from start to food in the mouth. So using the filters to find the food and the dinners and the recipes that suit your life, because that's what we want people to get. Cookie Doo fits around you and it serves you. For Sue earlier, we were talking about serving sizes. You could use that as one of your features that you show. Did you know that you can scale up and down using Cookie Doo and it adjusts all the ingredients and all the steps for you? So again, at your whether it's in person or online or whatever you're doing your prac training with, ask your team leader what do they do and grab those tips from them. So for this one, designing your own demo, and you'll feel like a bit of a broken record if you've been planting the seeds the whole time. But I promise you, it's really important because designing a demo for those guests is your future business because you have no idea who they know and who they might invite to them. So if you can go to one demo with 2 guests and get 2 demos out of them, you're then going to meet another potential, oh, I don't know, I did balloons, potentially have another 4 people in your network that you never would have met. They're not in your Franco. You'll never come across them. And that's how your business is going to thrive. So making sure your host coaching is up to scratch, that you're telling them, hey, I'd really love for you to invite 2 people. Like, who do you know that this would benefit? A line that I've heard before is, if you could gift a Thermomix to anybody for free, who would it be? Get them to come along because you never know. They might actually, obviously not saying this to them, but as for you as the consultant, you don't know, that person might be the person who needs a Thermomix for free, and they're the ones that are going to sign up on the day, and they're going to take the world by storm. And that's what we want. We need more consultants. Let's just face it, we will not be saturated anytime soon. We're currently at just shy of 3% of the population owns a Thermomix, and that's all brands of Thermomix, not just the 7. So there will never be a time where there are too many consultants because of that networking thing. We need more people because then word gets around and everyone benefits when more people are talking about Thermomix. So designing a demo, cook more, learn more, share more. Talking about when we did our dishes, we're definitely going to have to do that demo, and I can show you how to do the best garlic pizza twists or whatever, however you do it. So your journey starts with me, letting people know that you don't disappear, hopefully, as soon as the sale goes through, because the beauty of having consultants is that because we are direct sales, we don't have a shop front There is nowhere that that person can walk in and say, "Hey, I'm having an issue. Like, could you teach me how to use my machine?" No, that's your job now. And it's really important that people have access either to you, or if that's not why you're here, and for some people they're just here to earn and leave, and that's fine. We love that too. Making sure that they have a touch point with your team leader or the closest consultant if they're your friend or whoever it is, making sure that they have somebody that they can rely on for the long term because they've made a long-term investment. So customized demos, cooking classes. I can't speak for every team leader, but the Ipswich Western Suburbsy area, we're going to be doing more online cooking classes. We're going to be doing more in-person cooking classes. Toowoomba are incredible for doing showcases. Yeah, like whoever you're under, the Gold Coast have heaps of events on as well. So making sure that you're aware of what's happening. So at this point, you can actually share. We offer in-person cooking classes, often for free. And I am here for inspirations and tips. A line that I actually love using is, and I promise you, like if you text me in the middle of the night that you need the best rice recipe, I'll respond. And people are like, "Oh, okay." Because it's opening up that trust that you're going to be there for them, and that they're not just going to invest and then you're just going to poof into, they're going to be completely alone. So your Thermomix your way, going around the room again, more open questions. What did you love? Was there anything that surprised you? For Sue, you said you've never even seen a Thermomix before. Was there anything that took you by surprise today? And if everybody's like, no, no, then yeah, it's really just a matter of opening up. So what's next for you? Like, I don't actually use that one at all, but what would you make first is a really great one because if they've been filling their forms out at the correct times in your prac training, you'll see the little symbol on your demo tells you which section to do of your feedback form. Like there's a box there about cookie dough. And in there it asks you like what's some recipes that you would love to make in a Thermomix, or that you'd love to see when you're doing your cookie dough section. You can actually ask people if nobody's giving you feedback, what did you write down? Use those forms to actually support you and your demo and keep it on track. So a Thermomix on your bench, it's hard to not, but please don't be scared of recruiting. It took me a long while. It actually took me to becoming a Thermomix team leader, to see the benefit of recruiting people. So the benefit for you is that you get paid. You do get paid. At the moment, we have the incredible international recruiting competition. And we've got heaps of beautiful incentives that you can actually earn by recruiting. So for recruits that confirm, you actually get a free gift for each of them. One of them's a second bowl for your TM7. The first one is the cutter. Then there's some personalized shoes and some personalized luggage. So with Thermomix, and you'll see it as you keep being consultants, there's always something to gain, whether you are in it for the money, for the incentives, for the trips, for the easygoing time frames, like whatever it is, the reason why you joined, there is something for everybody. So making sure that you're engaging and letting people know that. Like I just came back from a fully paid trip to Fiji. I haven't been on holiday since 2019, and that was my honeymoon. So, like, it's a fantastic business. There's a reason you joined, so let people know. There's a reason for everybody. Of course, you've got the full payment option. People can actually bank transfer. They don't have to pay on a credit card. They can direct deposit. So letting people know that if that's interest, like if that's where they're going, if they're like, oh, I don't want to, I don't know. Everyone's got a reason to complain. And then the finance options. So we've got Hum, which is 3 or 24 months interest free. Then we've got Zip, which is up to 24 months interest free. And then there's Afterpay, which is just quarters. So 4 fortnightly payments. And I think that's all that's on the sheet. If you are not confident have the payment options and the T's and C's printed out, laminate them, have them with you. So when it gets to this point, anybody who's talking about finance options, you have them there, you have all the T's and C's, they can read it themselves. You don't have to worry about getting it wrong. If somebody ticks on the bottom of their feedback sheet that they are interested in finance options and you don't have it printed, say I'll email it to you as soon as I get home. Is that okay? And just make sure that they've QR checked in with their email, or their email is written somewhere else on the feedback sheet because it no longer is a box to fill in. So earn, the funnest way to get it, 4 sales, 90 days. It is going back to 6 sales at the end of this or beginning of next month. So if you know anybody who is interested in becoming a consultant or potentially having one cheaper, get them involved. Get them in touch with your team leader, fill out that lead form, and your team leader will do all the hard work for you. You don't have to do the hard yards. It's what we are, why we're here to support you with that. So love it, get it. Fun, gifts, travel, talk about the amazing community. You can talk about all the great friends you've met, that incredibly chatty woman who lives in Brisbane and you see her once a fortnight. Tell people about me, I don't mind. Because it's interesting. People like to know that we are in this together. And of course, the financial benefits. Is there somebody in the room that would love to help their family pay bills? Is anybody thinking maybe I'm going to need some money before Christmas? Obviously, Christmas is a little bit sooner than we would like. But again, you've asked those questions. If they're thinking about money, then maybe becoming a consultant could be the answer to their money problems. They can work on their own terms. They don't have to pay for their Thermomix. And then they could be earning an income after the fact as well. So that is the end of the actual flip chart. Can you see my face again now? Okay, yeah. So I have, what is the percentage of demos sell at least one? Okay, so when you are brand new, so Andrea's just asked a question like, what is the conversion rate of demo to sale? When you are brand new, the conversion is actually 2 demos for 1 sale. And that's not, it's just what it ends up panning out like. The more people you have in front of you, the more chances that you're going to come across the person that needs you the most. If you are doing one-on-ones, you are going to make that one-to-one really difficult, because if that person's not involved, you haven't broadened your network at all. You've stopped the chain, because you didn't get those follow-on demos, those leads to call in a couple days' time, all those things. So at the beginning, 2 to 1. For signing up as a consultant, it's recommended you have about 3 demos booked before your start date. And that's really to make sure that you have some business to look forward to. Because the last thing you want is your start date to come around and you've got nobody to show it to and you feel like the time's ticking. What we want you to feel is confident. We want you to understand the processes. We want you to be trained. We want you to be excited. We don't want fear. So again, if you are struggling with finding demos, talk to your team leader. They are there to help you. They are there to coach you. They are there to guide you the whole way. That's literally our job, apart from our own businesses, because I am still a consultant. I still do demos and I still make sales. My second half of my job is to make sure that everyone in my team is supported, and that they know what they're doing, because otherwise I haven't done my job right. So another question is, what is the current wait time for the TM7? So it's 4 weeks. So they have said 4 weeks until dispatch. So if they ordered today, you'd be expecting it to be delivered by the beginning of November. Always preempting that when you are giving that time frame out, that it is currently 4 weeks from dispatch. From order. Yeah, dispatch is 4 weeks from order. Christmas may be crazy. The end of September, early October is renowned for being a bit of a rush with Thermomix. because people are thinking about Christmas, maybe not gifts, but thinking that they need one for Christmas so that they can handle the volume of food and the entertaining and all that kind of stuff. So yes, 4 weeks. If you ever need to find that, then all you are going to do is go to delivery times. There is a space on the Thermomix website that is here. So if you type in estimated delivery Thermomix TM7, I'll put a link there for you. That will be updated as we are told. If you the hub inside the, oh gosh, my head's just disappeared. Unleashed. Inside Unleashed, there are all the tabs across the top. It's like notifications, asset library, all of those. I might actually share this because I feel like this is a really annoying thing that gets left behind. Sorry, bear with me 2 seconds. Did that answer your delivery question?
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I had to find the unmute button.
No, you're fine, no worries. I'm
Thank you.
currently trying to convince my computer to work. Okay, let me share my screen. So when you are so this is Thermomix Unleashed. So if you're not sure where to find that, you're going to go to your hub here, and you're going to go down to more, and Unleashed is here. So this is where all of your assets are, all of your social media policies, just everything really. So along the top here, you can see notifications, asset library, weekly news, incentive, ThermoFest, blah, 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 blah. On each one of these, you need to subscribe. So if you haven't done it yet, it'll look like that. You're going to toggle it to yes. If you subscribe, then you will actually get an email. Asset Library doesn't do it, but you will actually get an email every time something is added to this. And the reason why I've brought this up is we were actually given a notification a couple days ago regarding that 4-week wait. So if you want to stay on top of all the news and everything that's happening, the incentives, so you can look, so the International Recruiting Challenge, you can see we've got the cutter, the second BBL, the shoes, and all of the information will always be in here. If we have customer incentives, the current one is the recruitment incentive. It will be under here. And Cobalt, we don't actually sell them ourselves anymore as consultants. So that's gone. But the commission update is in there, team leader promotions is in there, and you can actually look back and back and back to find there's actually an archive here as well. So if you won an incentive a couple months ago and you never received whatever you wanted, then you can have a look back. Great tip. Do you know when the consultant cut has been set? I don't. No, I'm sorry. My guess would be after the challenge finishes, and they will just do bulk everybody. I haven't heard of anybody's being dispatched yet, and we're a month in. So yeah, I would say challenge finishes on the 31st, so sometime in November. For the BBL, which is the Bold Blade lid set, we will actually get vouchers for that if you get that second recruit incentive, and you won't be getting the actual bowl until the new year. And that's just because they're not here. I'm not sure. I haven't been given an update about the cutter at all. So I apologize. It's been a lot of chatting. It's been a lot of me talking, but I'm hoping that everyone's found something that they can take forward to a demo. Is there anybody who'd like to share their biggest takeaway, or you can pop it in the chat, something that you're definitely going to implement if you've started demoing already? I love the feedback. If you thought it was absolutely trash, then I apologize. Can't give you your time back.
I love the little tongue in cheek when you're talking about all of the different appliances, and it's like, and do they clean themselves?
And do
none
they
of them
clean
do.
themselves? Because most people don't know that a Thermomix cleans itself.
Yeah.
And you are going to do a pre-clean somewhere throughout your demo. I do it after dough because for most people who have done dough work in life, like handmade, they know how hard it is to clean. The second you get hot water on dough, it turns to slime and it's smearing. And you can explain to them that the Thermomix actually heats that water to 37 degrees. It melts the dough off without smearing it. And all I have to do is tip it down the drain and wash off the suds. Like that. That's all I'm doing. So again, who's in front of you? What extra bonus information do you need to give? And if you don't have bonus information, they don't know. They don't know what you don't know. Of course, if somebody asks you a question and you have no idea, and it's pressing, then please message me or your team leader or whoever you need to. I'm more than happy for people to take my number. This is my full-time job. I've got kids at home, so I'm very accessible. Or say, I'm actually not sure. Like just say, I actually don't know, but I'm gonna make a note and I'm gonna ask somebody who does. So say with the gluten-free thing, I'm personally not gluten-free, but my colleague is an expert when it comes to gluten-free food, and I'll be able to ask her that question, and I'll be able to follow up with you by email if that's okay with you, or by call or whatever. Anything else? Sinusy. Yes, you may. 0431682919. Oh yeah. If you live in Moggle, shouldn't you be in my area? Or are you Tanya's? Are you in Tanya's? Yeah, you're in Tanya's, aren't you?
Kim Breeze and Beck Jenner.
Oh. I thought Moggle was my area. Never mind.
I don't know. I got
Yeah.
accepted
Oh,
into.
look.
I've known Kim for 22 years, so I somehow got accepted into hers. So
Oh, beautiful. No, that's
there you
fine.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm literally just across the water.
You
So
are.
I actually, so my area covers basically from the Jindalee Bridge, if you were to draw a straight line all the way over. So like Bellbarry, Moggle, and then obviously Ipswich and everything down.
Cool.
Depending on, I don't have Kenmore. Kenmore is
okay.
classed as the Brisbane, not Southwest Queensland, it's classed as like Brisbane Central, whatever that branch is called.
Okay. Sounds
Yes,
good.
but you are more than welcome. Text me anytime.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Eden, did you have anything? How are you feeling?
Yeah, no, it was great. Thank you so much for the
You're
tips.
welcome. No worries at all. But yes, so please, if you haven't already done your prac training, do it. It is important because everybody has their own flair. Everybody does a demo slightly different. Thank you, Andrea. And yeah, good luck. Have fun because it is fun. Like, this is a fun job. If somebody told me a couple years ago that I'd be walking into people's houses and making them food, you would have laughed because I can't cook to save my life. Rubbish. Saying that, lasagna, pasta bake, and a roast, they're my three non-Thermomix dishes. Even though I do my lasagna now in the Thermomix, so it was from a jar before. Anywho,
All
we
right.
are 5 to 9. Is there any final questions? And you lovely ladies can enjoy your evening.
No. Thanks,
Thank
Dorothy.
you. You're very welcome.
Get better soon.
Thank you. It's just that like slightly sickness. It drives me insane. How do I stop recording? That one.